Good evening. I call to order the 799th meeting of the City of Laurel's Historic District Commission. The qualifications of the members of the commission, the staff of the commission, and any consultants used are on file with the city and are hereby made a part of each and every application heard today. The guidelines and procedures adopted by the commission are also made a part of each and every application. Each application heard today is considered on its own merits and is not to be considered as establishing a precedent for any other application. Madam Secretary, you'll please call the roll.
Chairman Hayes.
Here.
Mr. Cocoon.
Here.
Council President Les.
Here.
Mr. DiLorenzo. Mr. Dyer.
Here.
Ms. McSeany.
Here.
Ms. Lubinecki.
Here.
And we do have a quorum.
Thank you very much. The minutes for the previous meeting held on February 7th, 2017. Do we have any discussion, questions, concerns, corrections about those?
I move approval.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Madam Secretary, we have a motion to approve by Mr. Dyer and a second by Mr. Cocoon.
Mr. Dyer.
Yes.
Mr. Cocoon.
Yes.
Council President Les.
Yes.
Ms. McSeany.
Yes.
Ms. Lubinecki.
Yes.
Chairman Hayes.
Yes.
And the motion carries.
Thank you. Agenda item number 3, HDC 031-2017 for 406 Laurel Avenue, submitted by Benjamin Brady, requesting approval to remove a large black walnut tree from the back of the property that is encroaching on the house and another building on the property. Mr. Brady, are you here? Please step forward. Make sure the mic is on by pressing the button that says push there, and you get a green light, hopefully. There you go. Hi, welcome.
Hi.
Hi. So, tell us about this situation. I'm interested because I have a black walnut in my yard too.
You can see from the picture, the black walnut tree is about 9 feet from the back of my house.
Okay, that's the back of your house, wow.
Yeah. And I know there's been water problems in the basement before, but I'm just concerned of encroaching on the foundation and just that it's
Have you had branches falling from it?
not like huge ones, but there was like maybe more than just like a stick. There was a branch that fell maybe soon after I bought the house.
Okay, so you got the tree service in to give an evaluation?
Yeah.
Do you have a basement?
Yeah, it's a cellar type basement, but you can walk and stand up in it.
Yeah, I have the roots started encroaching in your basement.
Not that I can see, but it's all, there's quite a bit of crawl space that I don't know if I can get back far enough.
Yeah. My basement got completely destroyed by a tree. It wasn't a black walnut.
Oh,
It wasn't
really?
anything nearly as beautiful as this tree is. But by the same token, I know what kind of damage they can do.
Yeah.
What kind of tree are you thinking of planting in its place or to replace it?
Probably not a black walnut, but I mean, I haven't really. I'm getting some landscape ideas,
Okay.
and I'm not quite sure what they would recommend for a tree there. I don't know if that's maybe that's the thing that's recommended for the Laurel area. I'm not sure.
I don't know about
There are
that.
plenty of other ones.
Yeah, and obviously you wouldn't want to put it in the same spot.
No,
It's just, all that we ask is that, generally that we ask, 1-for-1 replacement.
Yeah.
if you can.
I think there isn't there a list, I believe, from the tree board that of a list of recommended
Oh, is there?
trees for the area that are approved and kind of are recommended. So you might
Okay.
want to look at that.
From the tree board?
I think it's from the tree.
I
board.
have it. I'll see that you get one.
Yeah, you know what I was talking about.
Great.
Right.
Thanks, Sonny.
And he doesn't need to come for approval to plant a tree, does he?
No.
He doesn't need to come back before the commission.
No, just that they plant one.
I move we approve HDC 031-2017.
I'll second it.
Okay, Madam Secretary, we have a motion to approve by Ms. McSeany and a second by Mr. Dyer.
Ms. McSeany?
Yes.
Mr. Dyer?
Yes?
Mr. Cocoon?
Yes.
Council President Les?
Yes.
Ms. Lubinecki?
Yes?
Chairman Hayes?
Yes.
And the motion carries.
Thank you. Thank you very much for coming before us.
Thank you.
Good luck with that. Okay, agenda item number 4, HDC 032-2017 for 202 Stanley Place, submitted by Brenda McEnderfer, requesting approval to replace 4 second-floor windows in the same style as the existing windows and made from a new wood composite called Fibrex. I was reading about that. That was very interesting, actually. So, tell us about
I
the,
need to have one window replaced because it has no screens and the rain comes in under the sill. That is a Baltimore window and it will be a Baltimore window put in. The other 2 windows in that room are the picture that you see, and they have old aluminum storm windows that I don't even think one of them has screens or glass, but just the frames are in place. The other window is identical to the 2 that you see there. It's in the bathroom. It has a film over it. The glass is cracked. The part of the storm window is missing. So they need to be replaced. And then I'm replacing all my basement windows. One does not have any glass in it at all. One has a board. One has a board with a vent from a dryer, and the others are just in poor shape. And then I'm requesting replacement of the door. You see the door there. You can actually see through the cracks in the door. The door is in such poor condition. It looked like an inside door that they just stuck on the outside.
Where is the door in terms of the house? Sorry.
The picture of the door,
No, the actual door. I mean, where
where is it located?
where is it located?
it's on the side of the house, coming out of the basement.
So it faces Fifth Street?
Pardon?
Does it face Fifth Street?
It faces my neighbor's house, which would be facing eventually Prince George Street.
I see.
Okay. First, one question I have is the vent. You're not putting that back?
There's nothing there.
Okay. You're going
It's
to
just-
route that a different way, or you're not?
Yeah, the dryer's in another location,
Okay.
totally on the side of it goes out the side of the house. It's
Okay.
not going out the window.
Okay. And those will be non-opening windows for the basement, or?
Yes,
Okay. And there'll be the, what is it, the
Fibrex.
Fibrex. yeah.
Fibrex
It,
finish on the outside? Or,
the whole window.
okay, inside and out?
The whole, yes. It doesn't, it acts like vinyl in that low maintenance, never needs scraping or painting, won't rot, decay, or mold. And it doesn't act like vinyl in that it contracts and expands.
Cracks.
And it doesn't conduct heat and cold like aluminum does. And it acts like wood. It looks like wood.
Okay.
Is it, can you paint it, or is it something that comes with a color
It
automatically?
comes, you choose your color.
Oh, nice.
And white.
Very nice. So it never needs painting.
It never needs painting in,
Very sweet.
Yes.
Nice.
And then I had another question about the door.
yes, sir.
Are you just replacing the door, or are you going to do the frame as
There's a
well?
part on the frame that's right, I don't know what they did to the frame. but it's, I don't think they're doing much to the frame, actually.
So they're just going to install a door in the old wood frame? Because a lot of metal doors like you're proposing here will have a frame already built for it. And so you just
I really don't know.
remove this and you slide the
I really don't know.
wood frame into it.
Because this looks like
The
it's just
the
door.
frame that is there is pieced together, so they must be putting in a new frame, because somebody just took boards and just, this was an old boarding house. And they just tacked up pieces wherever they needed it. And you can see that it looks horrible.
You actually might want to check on that, because I think he's making an excellent point that you probably actually, usually they would put a whole new frame in, especially if it's a steel door, I would think. Maybe
And I
we-
was just curious if it's, I'm assuming it's going to be a wood frame, but I don't know.
Yes, it is going to be, they're
Whether
going
they
to do
keep the
wood,
old
yes.
or the new, it will be wood.
Yes. Yes. Okay. I do know that.
Yeah, they'd probably have a hard time using the existing frame for a new door.
They had a hard time figuring out how they were going to get that door in. Because the way it was stuck in there. And it's a very small door.
I'm going to say, it doesn't look like a standard size.
No, it's not.
Did you have to special order it? You know?
Yes. All these, this whole thing is special order.
Yep.
The rain comes in through that door, under the door, an area about that much, and snow. So this, it's a mess.
I'd like to make a, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, but they didn't tell you if they're putting a new threshold to make it a solid sealed door? You don't know if they're going to do that or not?
No. I should have, the man said he'd come in and help me, but
Couldn't
I
make it.
said, oh, I can do it. And
Maybe we should, maybe when we do the approval, we can make sure the options are there to put in the threshold and the new frame if required.
Yeah, I think it's a good education just for you to know that you should just verify those things. They're pretty standard, I think, because their purpose is to, create a nice seal there, and it would be counterproductive for them not to ensure that. So I'm sure that's going to happen, but I think it's good for you to have that knowledge just going in to make sure.
Well, I'd like to make a motion that we approve HDC 032-2017 for 202 Stanley Place as submitted by Brenda McEnderfer.
McEnderfer. Does it look like that?
McEnderfer, as described with the proviso that she also be allowed to put in a new threshold and frame if it's called wooden frame if called for in the installation.
Okay.
And I would second that motion.
Okay, Madam Secretary, we have a motion to approve from Ms. Lubinecki and a second by Mr. Clacoon.
Ms. Lubinecki?
Yes?
Mr. Cocoon?
Yes.
Council President Les?
Yes.
Mr. Dyer?
Yes.
Ms. McSaney?
Yes.
Chairman Hayes?
Yes,
And the motion carries.
thank you very much for coming tonight.
Good luck.
Okay, our next item is number 5, HDC 033-2017 for 24 C Street, submitted by Jennifer Soroy for Klingbeil Management, requesting approval to install a non-illuminated identity sign on the south side of the building at the top. Hi, come on up. Thanks for coming tonight.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. My name's Jennifer Seroy. I'm with Clingdale Capital Management, and as you said, I'm requesting approval to install a non-illuminated identity sign on the south side of the building at the top of C Street Flats. It's Building 1 that faces Main Street, and it would be our permanent sign for the community. We don't have any current permanent signage that identifies the community, so this would be our final piece of the puzzle for the identity sign.
And there would just be one sign, right?
Just one sign, yes,
Okay.
just a panel sign facing Main Street. It's 13 by 6 by 14 by, or by 4 by 6.
Okay.
And it would fit right in between. There's two existing gutters right there, and so it fits kind of snugly right in between there.
It just said on our sheet, fastened to the wall on the Main Street end of building, and then it says along C Street, but it's not going to be really along C.
It's not really along C
Right.
Street, yeah. It's Main Street. And it sits about, it'll say about 2 inches off the building with the fasteners.
Just had a question. I noticed it says digital printed background detail with fair housing logo. So is the logo that's next to C Street Flats a logo for fair house? I mean, I was just a little confused. Is that for the Fair Housing Department or something? What does that mean?
The fair housing logo is a federal fair housing logo. It's in the right-hand corner. It's,
Over in that
Right.
little, that little one, sorry.
yeah, no, that's okay. And the C Street logo is the.
Right, that's why I was a
yeah,
little confused.
Exactly.
And you're probably required by law to.
Exactly, yep.
It's a very attractive logo, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I
it's very
appreciate
nice.
that. We took a lot of time in designing that.
Mr. Chairman, you want to light that with some goosenecks?
That would be a good question for you. I don't know if the capability is there.
Well,
I mean, we would love that.
To your advantage.
it
Yeah, we
might be
would
to your
love it.
advantage at some point in time. So when we get to a motion, we'll do something about that. Yeah.
That would be wonderful. Thank you.
It's probably not within your purview, and probably the councilman would be a better person to address this. To be really good if you folks had a stop sign on either side of the parking lot coming out, because sometimes we'll walk there in the morning and folks will just come kind of racing out of there.
On the C Street entrance?
The other side,
B Street.
B Street side.
yeah.
I mean, they may do it on the C Street side also, but I think we've noticed it on the B Street side.
On the B Street side more?
That's where the path comes out.
That's where the path comes out, yeah.
I think you need just to talk to Mr. Faree about that, Public Works, and he'll work with you to figure out what you can do there. It's private, so we don't have to do anything on the council, but Mr. Faree can work with them.
Okay.
All right?
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
I'll make a motion, we approve 033-2017 as presented, with the addition that the applicant, if they so desire, can attach up to 3 gooseneck lights above the sign to illuminate it.
I'll second it.
Madam Secretary, we have a motion to approve by Council President Lesh and a second by Mr. Dyer.
Council President Les?
Yes.
Mr. Dyer?
Yes.
Mr. Cocoon?
Yes.
Ms. McSaney?
Yes.
Ms. Lubinecki?
Yes?
Chairman Hayes?
Yes,
And the motion carries.
thank you very much.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Okay, we have a staff approval, HDC 030-2017 for 414 Montgomery Street, submitted by Travis Scagliarini, thank you very much. Requesting approval to replace roofing shingles and repair roof damage. It was an emergency repair due to roof leaking in kind. Any questions about that? Okay. Agenda item number 6, new business. Any new business?
Let me just, if I could, indulge me for a minute, Mr. Chairman.
Please.
You all read about the Double T Diners coming to the old Silver Diner. And that's moving ahead. I think they have to apply for their liquor license. But I'll mention one other thing that happened this last week, because a couple people asked me. The Lone Star was torn down along the lake, and it's not going to be a 10-story hotel. It's going to be another dialysis center. Dialysis centers run from 7 to 10,000 square feet, and they're taking care of people like me that are getting older that have needed the service. We're going to have 3 in Laurel, actually. We've got the one down at the 7-Eleven. There'll be a dialysis center in the new building at 197 and Conti Road, and this one. And it sounds like an awful lot, but there's a lot of baby boomers that are getting to that age where they're able to partake of that, and it prolongs their quality of life. But I'll mention that there's some other things happening, and I'm sure they'll eventually appear in the paper. I'll mention the other one because it's happened already. The roadway depot. Mr. Cohan had bought that. He had paid the developer for it. There was a fee, and I haven't checked, but I assume it's been paid. There was a fee that had to be paid for the improvement of Montrose, I think. That was part of the deal. But now, apparently, he is moving that project along to another developer. So we'll see. Hopefully, it'll come to pass. And I encourage you, if you haven't been out there, to go out to Van Dusen Road and see what's happening out there with the 2 developments that are now within the city. There's about, was it 500 total units? Does that sound right, Sonny? Out there on Van Dusen, between the 2? And
You would
need
know
to
more than
remember.
I would.
About 500? Yeah. And people need to remember this commercial piece. And there's something that's pending for that commercial piece. So we'll see what happens. A lot of things happening in the city of Laurel right now, but a couple people had asked me about the Lone Star being torn down, so I thought I'd mention that. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Any other new business for the good of the good? Motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Thank you very much.
I'm sorry.